Mate, I'm bringing facts, you're bringing nothing but opinions. Name one bomb that was dropped by Israel in the last year.
Yeah, we're just talking about, okay, what about before last year then?
Okay, so let's talk about that. Hamas in Gaza, yeah? Were condemned by the United Nations for hiding missiles in schools. They fired over 200 missiles from schools, they fired over 100 from mosques, they fired from graveyards. Hamas hide behind people. They hide their missiles behind people. They protect their missiles with people. So Israel protects its people with missiles.
So human shields.
I wouldn't say that one.
Human shields. Yeah?
Hamas have human shields, yeah, absolutely.
Human shields. Allah.
Muslim people slaughtered my people in Arabic lands. People have slaughtered my people everywhere. So forgive me when I point out anti-Semitism. We've been slaughtered in every generation. The entire world is looking at Israel today. No, listen. The entire world is looking at Israel today. This year, he showed me a statistic. According to Palestinian sources, 100 Palestinians have been killed in the last year. 100 Palestinians in the last year. Now listen, how many United Nations resolutions were passed against Israel in the same period? 20. How many resolutions were passed against the rest of the world in that same period? 3. So Israel had 20 resolutions, the rest of the world had 3 resolutions. There were 100 dead Palestinians, there were hundreds of thousands of dead Muslims massacred at the hands of Muslims, and the United Nations says nothing. And that's when I say it's anti-Semitism. When the entire world looks at the one Jewish state and holds it to a standard that it holds no other nation, that's anti-Semitism.
Can you be an anti-Zionist without being anti-Semitic?
Can you be an anti-Zionist? You can, but it's very hard to be. And I'll give you an example. So, Zionism is just the belief that the Jews have a right to a homeland. Now, there is only one country in the entire world where millions of people campaign against its very existence. No, but you can be against the American government and say what America does in Iraq, I don't like. But you don't say I don't believe America has a right to exist. The only country people say it doesn't have a right to exist is Israel. Coincidentally, it's the only Jewish country in the world. So the only Jewish country in the world, millions of people oppose its very existence. And all Zionist means is you support Israel, you support the Jews' right to a homeland in their ancestral land. And so if you're against that notion, you have to do some pretty deep soul searching to explain how you can be against the only Jewish state's existence in the world while accepting so many other states.
Because they continue building settlements where they
Forget settlements. In 1948 there were no settlements. In 1948, in 1948 Jordan conquered the West Bank. Jordan conquered Judea and Samaria. Jordan conquered the land. They drove out the Jews and introduced a law saying no Jews can reside in Hebron, where Jews had lived for centuries. No Jews could live in certain cities throughout the West Bank where they'd lived for centuries. The Jordanians then attacked Israel again and lost the war and lost the territory. Since then, Jews have been living in the land they claim was them. But what you have to explore is in 1948, settlements weren't a problem. In 1960, any time before 1967, they weren't a problem. The obstacle to peace is not the settlements. The obstacle for peace is that many Muslims cannot accept a Jewish homeland in that region, and that's the obstacle for peace. Netanyahu got up in the United Nations just, I think it was 2 days ago, and stated categorically, I support a two-state solution. I beg you, Abbas, come and sit down with me, let's talk peace. What did Abbas do? Nothing. He shunned it. Instead, Abbas says, I want to sue the British government for the Balfour Declaration. So while Netanyahu is making huge gestures of peace, Abbas is naming streets after suicide bombers. Abbas is naming football teams after suicide bombers. Abbas is trying to sue the British government because the British government wrote a letter to the Zionist Federation over 100 years ago. 99 years ago.
Balfour Agreement, yeah.
Yeah, 99 years ago. He wrote a thing. And then Abbas is still the problem, the obstacle to peace is not the settlements. The obstacle to peace is not the Jews. The obstacle to peace is the Palestinian leadership and the Arab Arab leadership in the world. People need to recognise Israel's going nowhere. It's here to stay, and we need to make peace. We need to live side by side with each other.
Israel's not here to stay.
Brother, you can't say like this. You can't say like this.
Israel is not here to stay.
No, you can't say like this. Now, generation is born there.
And here's another fanatic extremist
Generation of
with a
them, his
kafir
brother
wrapped
is
around
born
his
there.
head, stating that Israel's not here to stay.
No, you can't say like this.
Mate, you're an extremist. I'm here for peace.
There's hadith, there's Quran.
Who cares about your hadith? There's a hadith about Muhammad having sex with a 9-year-old.
Rasulullah in Mecca
Who cares about
was a
hadith?
Jew with him in Mecca, in Medina. The Jew, they lived with Rasulullah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Why you say there is an Israel?
No.
There is a Jew in Israel. Before there is a Jew in Israel.
That's true, but what's the
There
time
is
of
a Jew
Israel?
there before me and you.
What's the history of Israel?
Just wait, my brother.
The history of Israel
What we want.
predates Islam. The history of Israel goes back thousands of years. Dawood, Ibrahim alayhi salam, they were Jews. They lived in the kingdom of Israel, Beit Israel. It's mentioned in Egyptian stones.
Yeah.
So you said, what's the history of Israel? I'm telling you the history of Israel, Aki. I'm telling you the history of Israel.
You look to it as Israeli history, but we look at it as Islamic history.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's different vision. Here is different vision.
When
Yeah, this is over here.
in your book, when the Quran,
For me, Dawood and Sulaiman, they're Muslim.
what tribe did
For me.
Dawood? What tribe did Dawood belong to?
But
Yeah, but
No, what tribe? Forget, Aki, he was a Levi. We still have Levium that live in Israel today. They know their
what was their
tribe.
belief? What was their belief?
Their belief was in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the Torah, not the Quran, not the Hadith. They followed the Torah, the same religion that I follow, not you.
Why?
Stop trying to steal my religion. Stop trying to steal my.
Let me talk to you. Why do you say that?
Why do I say that? Because Islam came along
No.
1400 years ago.
You're
Yeah.
talking about Torah, yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you believe, for example, why do you believe that the Muslims, the people, like, you know the Torah you believe in, yeah? Who revealed who was the Torah revealed to?
So
Who was the Torah revealed to?
in Hebrew it's Moshe Rabbeinu. In
Musa.
Arabic Musa alayhi salam.
And prophets
And Musa was Bnei Israel. Yeah? My people are Bnei Israel. In Hebrew, Bnei Israel. We're the children of Israel. Yeah. So for you to come along and say that the Jews have no place in this land, when we speak Hebrew, the artifacts that the language of Dawood wasn't Arabic; it was Hebrew. We have artifacts from that period, from the temple, that were all in Hebrew, not in Arabic. So when a Muslim comes along and tells me that they weren't Jews, I think you're a joker, mate. You don't know the first thing about history.
Jews by race. No, Jews by race.
Forget race. Who cares about race? We're talking about religion. We're talking about religion.
Jewish is not a religion. It's not a religion.
Okay, tell me, teach me. I don't teach you about Islam, yeah? You don't teach me about Judaism. Have you read the Talmud? Have you read the Talmud?
Sorry?
Have you read the Talmud?
What is the Talmud?
The Talmud is the book of the Jews.
Look here.
Have you read the Torah? Have you read the Torah?
Every prophet and messenger that comes with revelation.
Mate, you're speaking Islam. I'm not a Muslim. Yeah? Say if you're doing dawah, do it over there. We're talking Israel, Palestine. You come along preaching Islam. I'm not a Muslim. I don't believe you. I don't believe a prophet has relations with a 9-year-old girl. I don't believe what you believe, and that's fine.
In the Jewish scripture, don't you women get married at 12 years old?
What? No, where does it say that? It says your bat mitzvah. A woman has a commandment to follow the law when she's 12 years old.
Yeah, you talking about? In the script, how old was Mary when she gave birth to Jesus? How old was
That's
she?
Christianity. I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew.
Don't you believe in Mary?
No,
Guys,
different
guys,
religion.
Where
Different
you going, my brother? Where you
religion.
going?
Mate, jog on. We were having a talk about Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
It was a
Where you
political
going?
conversation with facts, figures, statistics, stuff that can actually
Well, it
be
is, yeah.
Mate,
Allah
you've hijacked the conversation. You've hijacked the conversation. No, you've hijacked the conversation.
Joseph, I'm agreeing
Allah said you're the chosen
that we're going to live together.
And I pray that we can live together. I want us to. We should be able to.
Yeah,
Actually, we should.
Only under Islam we can live together. Only under Islam.
Listen, mate, it's what I said, yeah? Last year, according to Palestinian sources, there have been 100 dead Palestinians, which I don't want any dead Palestinians. Almost all of them were carrying out terror attacks. In the last year, hundreds of thousands of Muslims have been slaughtered by Muslims, yeah? Yeah? So where are your tears for the Muslims killing Muslims? Why only the Jews? Why can Muslims live together but Jews can't live with Muslims?
إسرائيل don't talk about yourself. احنا نقتل بعض ذبح.
We are talking about Israel and Palestine issue.
Don't go over the top.
No, we have to look at the world because when Muslims attack Israel and ignore the atrocities around the world, we have to ask why. Why the double standard? Why do you only care when they want?
What are you talking about, man? You're chatting rubbish, man.
Okay, mate, you brought no sources. I bring facts, I bring statistics, I bring resolutions. You bring opinions.
Really?
You bring opinions. Really, mate. I'm bringing facts. You're bringing nothing but opinions. Name one bomb that was dropped by Israel in the last year.
Look here, we're just talking about. But, okay, what about before last year then? If you want to go there.
So let's talk about that. Hamas in Gaza, yeah, were condemned by the United Nations for hiding missiles. For hiding missiles in schools. They fired over 200 missiles from schools. They fired over 100 from mosques. They fired from graveyards. Hamas hide behind people. They hide their missiles behind people. They protect their missiles with people. So Israel protects its people with missiles.
So human shields. Human shields. Yeah?
Hamas have human shields. Yeah, absolutely.
Human shields. Allah Akbar. Look at this, bro.
Look at this brother who's bringing facts. You just 2 minutes ago you said you were my brother.
It gets worse than that. It gets worse than that. They actually tell the children not to leave the school. It actually gets worse than that. They tell the children you're not allowed to leave the schools. They need the propaganda. They need the propaganda, and it gets worse than that. It gets worse than that. It gets worse than that.
Mate, listen to yourself, man. Listen. You'll learn something. Yeah. Israel are faced with an enemy that attacks them from a built-up city, Gaza City. One of the most dense. Mate, you're the only enemy. You're an enemy of peace. I'm a friend of everyone. I'm a friend of the Muslim, the Jew, the Christian.
You need to get occupied.
Mate, I'm in Hyde Park. I'm in Hyde Park. I'm not occupying
anywhere. Tell your people to get out of occupied land. Simple.
Listen. Israel are fighting.
Stop trying to argue that Israel is justified.
I'm coming with you with facts. I'm coming at you with facts, and you're coming with emotional arguments based on nothing but your religious fanaticism.
Occupy Muslim land.
Okay, great. That's all you got to say. Well, jog on. If you're not willing to listen, that's fine. Jog on.
You're afraid of the facts. You're afraid of the true facts.
You've not brought one fact. You've brought opinions. You've brought nothing but opinion. You're an opinionated buffoon. My father taught me never argue with an idiot because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. So I'm going to move on, mate.
Move on. Jog on. Don't say something. Someone say something.
The guy I was talking to actually left because you hijacked the conversation. But anyway, we should know peace and we should have less Islamist fanatics like you.
What is peace?
Peace is the opposite of what you believe.
Spain a Muslim land.
Sorry?
Spain a Muslim land.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. An Islamist. Mate, why are you here? Why aren't you in Syria? Why aren't you with Daesh? Why aren't you fighting for the Khilafah? Why aren't you fighting for the Khilafah? Have they taken your passport? Are you on a watch list?
What are we changing the topic for? Why aren't you in Israel?
I promote Israel in the UK. What good does it mean promoting Israel in Israel? Israel has many friends in Israel. It has no friends in the UK.
I promote the Islamic State.
You promote Daesh here. This guy promotes. Take a good look at him, YouTube. This man promotes the Islamic State in Hyde Park, and what a fantastic job he's doing.
Everywhere. I promote Islamic State everywhere.
Daesh everywhere. Daesh here.
Israel is a subhanAllah. It's going to be finished soon, inshallah. That's it. Kalam. That's what I have to say.
MI5, pay attention. Sky, if he's not on a watch list, he should be.
You should be on the watch list.
I am on a watch list.
Alhamdulillah. Good.
Daesh's watch list.
Alhamdulillah. Watch him.
Our people should know peace. Less fanatics like him, more peacemakers like me. Israel and Palestine should live side by side. There shouldn't be any of this violence. Bibi Netanyahu got up in front of the United Nations this week and said he was willing to live alongside an Arab state. If Bibi Netanyahu can say that, why can't Abbas? Why can't Abbas come out and recognize Israel and meet us and meet for peace? We need peace, more peace. YouTube. Check out the Israel Advocacy Movement on YouTube.
To see more videos like this, subscribe to Titans TV down below. Thanks.
The greatest darky that bite with shark teeth and hate malarkey. Who you? The greatest heartbeat. Ancient Egypt is amazing.
No. Yehudi. So, no, Jewish. La ilaha illallah, Musa Rasulullah.
That's where everybody get bust up. You know, you remember Mike Tyson? You get bust up, you go in the Quran if you want to try to find shirk, because it's not present. Allah Ta'ala says, and you remember the Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allah الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.